The new Modern Warfare 4 campaign teaser may have just given us one of the biggest mysteries surrounding Captain Price's story, and it all comes down to one word: Archer. During our first look at the mission Traffic, Valeria reveals that she and Price have made some kind of deal, and whatever Archer is, Price apparently wants it badly enough that he is willing to work alongside one of his former enemies and help her fight her way into Paris.
Don't forget our deal. We don't get to Paris, you don't get your Archer.
That tells us a few things right away. First, Archer is directly connected to Price. Valeria specifically calls it your Archer, meaning this is something Price is looking for rather than something Valeria also wants. Second, Valeria apparently has the ability to give Price access to this Archer. And finally, Price has agreed to do something for Valeria in return, because she makes it very clear that getting to Paris is a condition of their deal. So what exactly is Archer? I think there are two possibilities that make a lot of sense, and some you guys already pointed out in the comments. We know that the larger Modern Warfare 4 campaign revolves around the war breaking out on the Korean peninsula, and there appears to be some kind of major weapons threat connected to that conflict. So what if Archer is a weapon Price believes can stop whatever is coming? That could begin explaining why Price is operating the way that he is in the game. Price has gone rogue, right? He's outside the system, he's making his own decisions, pursuing his own objectives, and the rest of the world may not completely know why yet. More than likely, Price knows that something terrible is coming, and Archer may be the only way to stop it. And so then suddenly his desperation to find it and all the deals that he's making starts to make more sense to us. It would also explain why he's willing to make a deal with Valeria. Price doesn't have the same resources that he had in previous games. He can't call Laswell, he can't say Task Force 141, let's go do this shit, or he can't even call on the Special Air Service and have them locate this Archer. Valeria though, she has a shit ton of connections, and maybe many who specialize in moving things around the world without anybody knowing, without governments specifically knowing. If a weapon like Archer disappeared into that world or it was being moved, Valeria might be exactly the person capable of finding it. Another possibility that I actually think could be more interesting and maybe more plausible is that Archer isn't a weapon. What if Archer is a person? The wording of Valeria's line works incredibly well with that interpretation. She tells Price, you don't get your Archer. That could be the codename for a person that Price desperately needs to find. Archer could be some sort of intelligence asset, maybe a scientist, an engineer, some sort of weapons developer, maybe even a defector, something that we saw in the reveal trailer. Something really important. Someone who basically possesses information that Price needs. And if that's the case, I think Archer could still connect directly to the weapon at the center of the Korean conflict. Maybe Price isn't looking for a weapon capable of stopping the threat. Maybe he's looking for the person who can actually stop it. Archer could have helped create the weapon. Maybe they know how it operates. Maybe they know where it's going to be deployed. Maybe he knows what vulnerabilities it has or how to disable it. Basically, to keep it short, Archer could know something that nobody else does, and so Archer becomes one of the most important characters in all of Modern Warfare 4. And this would tell us that Price was forced into a partnership with Valeria, and not necessarily something that he was willing and happy to do. Look, Archer is obviously the biggest mystery coming out of this teaser. However, something else that should be of similar importance is Price and Valeria's deal. Because think about it, we know what Price wants from Valeria, Archer, right? But what exactly does Valeria want from Price, and why does she need him? If you watch the Traffic teaser closely, there is one vehicle that keeps appearing throughout the entire sequence, throughout the entire teaser, the yellow delivery van. And this isn't actually the first time that we've seen it. The same yellow van appeared during the original Modern Warfare 4 reveal trailer. Only there it was like brand new and much better condition. Now that we're seeing more of this Traffic mission, we can watch the vehicle get torn up or destroyed as the chase through Paris continues. Price and Valeria at first appear to be fighting around the van, protecting it. As the situation gets worse, it gets covered in bullets, it gets dented, it gets almost destroyed, right? A lot of people, a lot of vehicles are pursuing this yellow delivery van. Eventually, we see Price and Valeria inside of the van. That obviously tells me and you that this van is a lot more important than it initially appeared. If we go back to Valeria's exact words, we don't get to Paris, you don't get your Archer. Maybe getting Valeria to Paris isn't the objective. Maybe Price is helping her get this van into Paris. And that would make you ask yourself, what the fuck is in this damn van? The easy answer is drugs, right? Valeria is the leader of Las Almas cartel, so helping move a shipment into Europe would make sense, or maybe she is expanding her operation into Paris, or delivering a shipment to another criminal organization. Now, if Price really needs this information from Valeria, she could easily be forcing him to help complete one of her cartel operations before she gives him what he wants. But truth be told, I'm not convinced that it's drugs. It would just be too easy and not enough in my opinion. So maybe that van could be carrying some sort of sensitive intelligence. What we know for sure is that it's extremely important. And we have to remember that Price gets picked up by Las Almas cartel after he kills Makarov. And then all of a sudden they're in Paris. So this goes into a completely different theory, a completely different conversation that we're actually going to be covering tomorrow. But that's not the point, right? Whether Archer is a weapon or a person, or maybe somehow both, Price clearly needs it badly enough to make a deal with Valeria and help her accomplish whatever she's doing in Paris. So while everyone is asking a good question, what Archer is, I think there's another question that we need to start asking as well. What exactly is Captain Price helping Valeria bring into Paris, and what did he agree to do in exchange for this Archer? What do you guys think? Do you think Archer is a weapon, or do you think Archer is a person?
Don't forget our deal. We don't get to Paris, you don't get your Archer.
But we're engaging police.
No, but they bleed just the same.
You should know better than to doubt me, Capitan.
There is too much heat on us. We're exposed out here.
So are they.
If you want to continue the conversation, you can comment down below, or you can join our Discord where we could talk about all of this in real time. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video.